Hello and welcome back to HyzerMedia's coverage of the 2023 Norse Gods Championship presented by Home Again. Thank you, as always, to our sponsors of this coverage, Cosmic Disc Golf, D-Town Disc Golf, and Reaper Disc Supply. I'm Nathan Johnson, joined in the booth by Dylan Horst. What's up, Dylan?
Hey, it's a pleasure to be here. Can't wait to watch the action. We got the gang back together. So here we are at hole 10, par 3, 257 feet. So now for the lefties on the card, it'll be a nice hyzer. For the righties, it'd be a nice forehand. It'd be very interesting to see how Matt kind of attacks this. Is he going to go roller or is he going to go turn?
Looks like he likes the roller. The grass is pretty thick on this hole. He doesn't quite turn it up or flip it up as much as he'd like because he's going to be down there at the bottom of the hill. Might be a pretty tricky upshot with all those skinny trees that are down there. Yeah, there's pretty much just that one tree in the middle that you got to beat. Either side of it is usually okay, but you don't want to hit it.
Trees.
Excellent shot by Vinny. That'll be nice to get him back under par. Kind of start building momentum on the round. And then here we go with Travis, trying to throw a forehand. Probably just trying to go off the trails of Vinny.
Nice line from Travis. Sneaks through those trees at the end. Gets a little bit of a roll away, but oh, it's still going. Oh, wow. Absolute brutal roll there from Travis, landing like 10 feet from the basket and rolling out into circle 2.
Yeah, because the grade by the green is pretty steep, so you don't see the roll too often unless it hits something. That was very, as Lucas throws it nice inside with a good skip. But usually you don't see a big roll away like that unless it hits something coming in.
Yeah, you see it more on putts that hit these trees than off the tee, but Travis still gives it a great effort. Oh, is this where Matt ended up?
Yeah, I don't think his roller turned over quick enough, and just a branch. One branch got him for glory.
Lucas now, after that great drive, gonna leave him with a short birdie putt, able to connect there.
Yeah, it's like a lot of the holes out here at Shiprock. It's, ones that you want to get that you feel are easy, but the strokes just add up very quick.
Tough to get into a rhythm, It's a lot of, doable shots, but difficult to execute over and over again.
Hole 11, par 3, 204 feet. Nicknamed the Llama's Cliff, and you will see soon enough. There are so many different ways to get here, and you have to combat this. Kind of a downhill 20-foot drop. Now, there are a bunch of different ways to kind of get there.
The question was, do I throw my
Lefties will throw something that finishes left.
The answer is yes.
Kind of everybody just wants to throw something that finishes left. Vinny there kind of tags the one tree he has to miss. Righties can throw either the backhand spike hyzer, or they can go this gap with the forehand roller.
Lucas opting for that flick roller line. Looked like a good angle out of the hand, and now we just see what happens. And there it is. It's a great shot.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the most unique holes that you'll ever play. At only 204 feet, it's one that you want to get, but it's one you want to keep trying and throw a bunch of different shots to see what actually works.
Yeah, I think your best bet is something like this. Travis, I think that's like a higher speed disc that he's throwing, kind of powering down to get that flare skip. Kind of pushes it a little too deep, which is a common result. Oh, Vinny almost makes that common result on this one, just because the angle is so severe off the tee, bending from right to left.
And you do have to watch out for these upshots because no, not the roll away. There is out of bounds long on this hole. It doesn't look like Matt found it, but if you do start to get that roll, there is a little creek behind the basket, probably only about 30 feet away.
Looks like
Here.
those putts from the top of the hill are so hard. You basically just have to aim at the ground because, you know, if you think you've thrown a good putt, it's probably going to hit the band or just sail right over the basket. Matt with another great putt from at the edge of the circle to save his par. It's just tough. It's a tough angle. You're not used to those severe downhill putts. Not something most people are used to.
Yeah, it's one of those from the top of the hill. You could be 20 feet away, but you're throwing 40 feet down a hill. So yeah, it's one of those, you almost just give it a little bit of a wrist flick if you're at the top of the hill. And Lucas here, trying to get the only birdie on the card. He's able to get it, just not go over to the rim on the right-hand side.
Yeah, looks some putting woes early here. Just hasn't quite found that rhythm, found that confidence on the green that we're used to seeing from him. Travis able to save the par as well. This is one of those holes that's you can get a bogey real quick. If you find it hit an early tree off the tee, it's a tough scramble, leave yourself a tester. And it's definitely a bonus birdie, so nothing wrong with taking a par on hole 11.
That's like one of my favorite putts.
Hole 12, par 3, 352 feet. You have to throw a low burner, so get your 3-iron out, get a nice stinger right down straight to the basket. Throw something dead straight. There is a low ceiling right off the tee, and then there's another low ceiling, as you can see, kind of off into the distance right by the basket with a very technical gap, probably about 10, 15 feet that you have to hit.
That's it. I hate that tree, dude.
Yeah, there's a row of trees right at the end of the fairway, probably about 60 to 70 feet short of the basket. Lucas just catches the one at the very end.
Yeah.
Tough break. Vinny, this is a scary line to throw as the lefty, but he absolutely pures it. That is going to be parked. What a shot.
Throw, and you guys won't know how close it is. That's not going in.
Matt wasting no time.
Mulligan.
Aw,
Yeah.
kind of catches something early up top. Doesn't quite get to the second set of trees. And Travis here, trying to throw like a low screamer, probably fairway driver. I think he pulls it a little right.
I see that thing.
So it'll be a long kind of stab at it from where he was at.
This is where you see a lot of people end up after their tee shots, just kind of somewhere on that fairway, looking to get up and down, but you do have to hit a gap. Looks like Matt clipped something. There's Lucas with a long look. I just never really had a chance there.
Yeah, he gave it the power, gave it the height, just the line was just off, kind of sticky hands from it being very hot on this day. Travis looked like he might have run out of bounds. Then kind of gave it a little, tried to give it a bid, clip some trees, probably circle's edge putt.
Yeah, not a great luck. Here's Matt now, another long par save. Oh, just a little right. Isn't quite able to connect.
Well, Travis here, actually a lot closer than what we expected. But yeah, I guess his first shot must have been out of bounds, unfortunately. Yeah, just turned it over, found the creek on the right-hand side.
Definitely has cooled off after that hot start. 8 down through 8. Now drops to 7 under through 12. Still a great round. Still plenty of birdies left, especially this next stretch from about 13 through 17. are really all holes that you're going to want to pick up. So we'll see if he's able to bounce back.
Hole 13, par 3, 298 feet. Really nothing in the way. So find your disc, that goes 298 feet. Take that one out of the bag, give it a rip.
Yeah, pretty much wide open. This hole to add a little bit of danger, it did play as an island green today, but that still doesn't add anything in the way of the tee pad and the basket. So if you do something like that, you're going to be well in bounds. Nice shot there from Vinny. Should be a very straightforward birdie.
Yeah, in a way, sometimes it is nice to have an island green, and sometimes it's not. It's nice because it allows you to focus a little bit more, but sometimes it's not nice because then you focus a little bit too much on where you kind of want to land. But here, Lucas, giving it a run.
Off the pole, just a bit low. It stays close. That's going to be a tap in birdie, but wow. Looking for a highlight there. I will say that this hole is probably the hole I've made the most circle 2 putts on in my life because, you know, when you do shank your drive on this one, it feels so bad that you almost have to make the birdie putt out of spite from wherever you land, you know.
Yep, I agree with you there. Matt looks like went a little short. Let's see if Travis can kind of bounce back after the bogey on the last hole. Seems like he's throwing that same putter he's been throwing all day, and it is perfect.
Yeah, that'll be a good bounce back for him. So with the other 3 members of the card, Matt finds himself at that very common 35-foot distance, and he is able to connect. Really nice putt there. Able to grab the birdie. And this is looking like it's going to be a star frame.
Yeah, it's definitely one when you look at on the tee pad, you're thinking star frame, but it's always something weird that happens on this hole. But not for our lead card today.
Nope. Starting to look like a feature card should. And that wraps up the star frame here on hole 13. Nicely done, fellas.
Hole 14, par 4, 585 feet. The flight that the drone's taking right now is the ideal flight. I kind of want to throw something that, if you're a lefty, you could probably hug on this right-hand side, but a righty's just trying to throw a hyzer around the first 2 initial trees. And then from there, there's not much in the way. These trees were kind of put in a couple years ago, and now, as you can see, they are really big contenders on kind of making this hole a lot more challenging.
Vinny getting really aggressive there. I love the idea of that just huge max distance line. Gets it a little nose up, kind of fades out. We'll see where he ended up. This is the more well, I say traditional. Most people are not throwing it that high, but the thought is just that nice, easy hyzer through the gap. You don't really need to bite off that much distance, as it only is 585-foot hole. Even this shot from Matt, that's kind of leaking a little right, is still going to get through. He's still going to have less than 300 feet in to get up and down for his birdie.
Yeah, definitely fortunate enough to get past that last tree, because, I mean, if you're behind it, really, it'd be pretty tough to kind of get up and down. Then Travis here, testing that tree on the right.
Yeah, that's not good. I'm not, but fortunate kind of lie here. He's got something. This is going to be a pretty big forehand, though, probably in the 330 range with a standstill to give him a putt.
Yeah, and a staggered stance. It's really tough to generate a lot of power. And yeah, looks like he ended up a little bit short. Circle's edge, maybe just outside the circle. Still an opportunity, though.
Yeah, not a bad effort from there. Matt looks like he's just going to kind of take the straight line up the fairway you see most people take from the silver tee pad. Just kind of a straight backhand mid-range. Never really fades out, so that'll leave him 25 to 30 feet.
Yeah, pace was perfect. Just needed to fade just a little bit. And here we have Vinny taking the big hyzer around the last tree. Again, just get it around and try to get the distance right. A little short, but still looks like he found himself inside the circle.
Yeah, plenty of space, I should say, on the left-hand side of this fairway. So you'll see most players kind of take that forehand or lefty back into the green. Lucas just running everything now. Kind of ended up on the left side of the fairway, but still able to make it work. So here's a long look for Travis for birdie.
Unfortunate, just didn't give it enough commitment.
Yeah, you kind of saw that like abbreviated follow through there. Just didn't quite commit like he would have liked. Here's Vinny. Also just came up a bit short, not able to connect there.
Matt found it. Matt was able to find it. Yeah, probably like 25, 30 footer. Again, it's nice. He got the pace right. That was step one. And then gave himself an opportunity, step two.
Yeah, nice birdie there. Card's kind of finding a rhythm now here, getting into a good grooves, putting some good scores on the board. These last, what do we got? 4 holes left are gonna really determine, you know, are you gonna have an okay round or are you gonna have a really solid round?
Hole 15, par 4, 579 feet. There is OB on the right and left-hand side, so you have to be very precise on your landing zone on the tee shot. And the second shot, you want to throw over the OB to an upward sloped green. So it's pretty tough to see exactly where the landing zone is. Here, it's pretty tricky, but you do see the flags that kind of outline the OB on the right-hand side. So most players are kind of trying to find their spot in the sky, throw their big hyzer up, and then hopefully it lands exactly where they expect it to, nice and safe.
Yeah, kind of a safer line there from Lucas. Keeps it low. I think most players are aiming for those tallest trees right in the middle. There's kind of 2 tall trees right next to each other. You want to fade left of those. Matt leaks this a little right. That's going to find that right side out of bounds, leaving him probably 400 plus feet into the basket to save his par. Vinny as a lefty, he's got plenty of space out to the left, but he just, he saws it off. That's going to be in trouble too.
Yeah, it seems like that OB on the right-hand side almost just brings discs to their doom for some reason. It's like you throw a shot that you think is still going to be safe, but somehow it just brings them in. But Travis here makes the correction. He doesn't fall for any tricks.
Yeah, I mean, you do want to be pushing that right side OB, right? Because it makes the next shot into the green a little bit shorter. But at the same time, there just really is so much space out to the left that there's no reason to bring that into play. Ooh, looks like we've got some added out of bounds on this hole as well to make things interesting.
Yeah, no, that's very interesting because every once in a while, if you don't bite off a lot of distance off the tee, then you might have a long second shot, or you might be stuck between 2 distances. So you're like putter distance or mid distance. Looks like Travis here made sure he gave it enough integrity to get there, and yeah, gives himself a pretty good opportunity. It's going to be pretty uphill on his putt, though.
Yeah, tricky shot here for the lefty backhand with that hill sloping from left to right. Got to make sure he puts this on a good angle, lands it nice and soft into the green. That grass is nice and grabby though, so that'll be a nice shot there for Vinny. I want to see Lucas go for this hole, but I guess with this added OB, there's really no reason to, off the tee, I should say. This looks a little sawed off, but I'm sure we'll still leave him look for the birdie.
Yeah, I have a feeling if there was an OB there, he would give it a nice rip to try to get there, because he could definitely get up there, at least in circle 2 range. Matt here, perfect putt. Got that confidence from a couple holes ago, and just riding it out. Found the groove.
Yeah, Matt's had it feels like a circle's edge putt on almost every single hole. He's done a really good job of able to connect on most of them. Travis, a nice putt there for himself to grab the birdie. Keep that momentum going in the right direction. Vinny now with a 20-footer or so, slightly uphill. Not a problem. Able to save the par as well after going OB off his drive.
Yeah, definitely nice to still only throw 3 shots and get a par. Unfortunate with the OB, but definitely nice to kind of save that par. And then, yeah, Lucas here, if he makes his, I mean, we have 2 birdies, 2 pars, and everybody threw 3 shots.
Yeah, I mean, especially after kind of a, for his standards, I'm sure a slow front 9. Finds himself at 8 under, only 1 back of Travis, so definitely in a good spot.
Hole 16, par 4, 640 feet. Now that OB we saw on the previous hole, it's OB on this hole as well. All that tall grass is out of bounds, and there should be a mando on the left-hand side to prevent you from going into 17's fairway. So the flight that the drone is taking right now is where you want to throw your second shot. So your first shot, you want to fight off as much distance as you can to get down into a safe landing zone in the middle. And then from there, with these tall trees, you can either throw over the trees if you have the power, or have to throw the nice low burner through the trees to kind of get up and down.
Lucas getting aggressive. Sawed it off, honestly, a little bit. Probably didn't get as much flip up as he was expecting, but a fortunate break to catch that last tree and not drift into that left side out of bounds. We'll leave him in a great spot. Travis getting aggressive here.
You did say, oh yeah. You didn't say, yeah.
Oh no, just a little short. Also finds himself out of bounds on that corner on the left-hand side. Probably just barely.
Yeah, Matt.
And Matt here, trying to give it a little bit more to test the right side, and then have a dependable fade right over the tall grass. Stays in bounds. You should be okay from there. And Vinny here, lefty. You can test that left-hand side or throw a nice flip on the right. It just seemed like it slipped out of his hand.
Yeah, a little early. Just didn't get the turn he was looking for. He's looking skyward now for his third shot, looking to try to save the par. This looks like a good line.
Yeah, just a little short there. Since he was so far back, he just had to have a lot of power to get there. But, I mean, put himself in an okay spot, didn't hit the trees to kind of get up there. And then Matt here clips one of the last branches coming through, kind of ends up in the same spot as Vinny. So both of them will be battle putting.
So there's Travis now. After finding that out of bounds, trying to get up and down himself to save a par. This looks nice, fades out a little bit. Leave him a short putt for his par, and we can see Lucas maybe even a long jump putt here, probably a little over 100 feet into the green. Wow,
So
had the height.
So say if you've been watching HyzerMedia, you've seen a couple of those highlight putts from him this year. Vinny here trying to saves the bar.
Wow, what a putt, right side. Nice pace on it, 60 feet.
Could be a contender.
Now, Matt, let's see if he can match. He's been on from this distance all day, just hasn't quite gotten one to drop. This is about 50 feet or so. Oh, just left.
So close. I mean, Matt's hit the basket on every putt, it seems.
Yeah,
It's just a little off here, a little off there.
yeah, very close to a really great round going. Just a couple of long ones that have been a bit off. Nice par save from Travis, should mention, and that birdie is going to get Lucas to 9 under as well. Like we said on the front nine, anything in the double digits on this course is a very good round. I'm sure almost all these players would be very happy with that, and it's sure to keep you in contention for the rest of the tournament.
Hole 17, par 4, 300 or 538 feet. The cornfield on the right is out of bounds, and there should be a little bit of an out of bounds on the left-hand side. So it's a very tight landing zone to throw. As soon as you land on the upslope, so then from there, as soon as you land in the initial landing zone by that last tree, it's going to be an upslope coming into the green. So you do have to watch your footing and kind of like your pacing on your next shot to get up to the green. But if you do have the power to bypass the landing zone, I think everybody would enjoy that.
That's so far. Like, oh my gosh, if you haven't played Shiprock and you're watching this, you come to this course and go stand where Lucas's drive is. That's insane. This is a common play you're going to see from most players. Just chip a forehand into the hill to set you up for your next shot, especially with the corn up. If you don't have elite distance, the backhand line is absolutely terrifying on this tee shot.
Nice shot.
Yeah, because anything on the left-hand side, you don't really have footing. It's jail. But even if you're in the middle, like kind of where everybody is kind of landing, you do have an uphill run-up. And the camera doesn't necessarily do it justice on how uphill this is. So you ever get to Shiprock and play this hole, you definitely have to take a mental screenshot of where Lucas landed and see if you can get anywhere close.
Yeah, this next shot here that Travis has, like you said, very uphill, as you can see, and now he's got to go over the corn. Really tough to trust the disc enough to hang it wide over that corn and bring it back. He ends up coming up a bit short left, so that'll be a tough low ceiling birdie putt coming up. I like this play.
Yeah, Vinny going around the left-hand side, he found himself really close to the corn, so this kind of was his only option. And I think the only thing he missed there was just getting a little higher and a little wider so it didn't kind of crash into those trees at the last second.
Matt, just going with the direct line, which I don't hate. It's definitely a safer option. Never really bringing OB into play, but just unfortunately doesn't give it quite enough height. So that is going to be quite a bit short. Lucas just has another 100-foot or so jump putt up into the green for a tap and par, and that's kind of what distance gets you on this course. These shorter par fours really get a lot easier when you can throw 500-foot hyzers.
Yeah, I mean, it would be really fun to have that one day. 500-foot hyzer.
Yeah, you're telling me. Oh, Travis with the long bid. Tough angle with that left-right moving putt. Just catches the cage, and Matt finds himself yet again in circle 2. A little bit of metal to keep the streak alive, but unfortunately doesn't count for a birdie, and he'll have to settle for that par.
Yeah, if we were playing just hit the basket, I think Matt would be very under par.
Yeah, I would say. So going to be a bunch of pars here. Lucas is going to pick up a stroke on the card with the birdie, gets him to 10 under, the first that we've seen to double digits all day. And with 1 to play, it's looking like a solid round.
And we made it. Hole 18, par 3, 289 feet. Pretty uphill off the tee, and there's OB on the right-hand side. You do have to navigate those few trees that we passed, and then this last little guy. But besides that, there's nothing much in the way. If you're feeling more confident throwing the forehand, you have the wide gap, and then you have the kind of forehand flip-up shot. Looks like Lucas is going the wide gap to take the OB out of play, get some ground play, get himself within the circle or circle 2. Kind of stress-free on that as soon as you pass the initial gap.
Yeah, this wide backhand hyzer didn't really used to be there. The tree kind of grew over it, but now it's kind of opened up a little more in the past year or so. Still a very scary shot with that corn there. Hard to trust it out wide. Travis kind of saws it off there. It's going to leave him a long look. Matt going with the roller.
Oh, yeah. Come on.
Oh, yeah. Nice little bounce, turnover.
Nice.
And wow.
That is so sick. What a shot.
With the little hop jump. Love
Uphill
to see
like
it.
that. Oh man, he knows that stability well to be able to put that on the perfect angle to just get that little bit of finish at the end.
Get up, go in.
And then Vinny here just throwing the nice, very nice smooth inside, lefty backhand gap. Perfect.
Wow. Shot there as well. This hole is hard, guys. 289, but it's uphill. It's got a low ceiling. Tough
Yeah, I mean,
hole.
it probably plays like 320, maybe 330.
Yeah.
And also after playing 18 holes in the heat, I mean, pretty tough to make sure he's still got the power to get there.
Oh, just a bit high from Lucas. So
That
he's
seems
not going to
a
be
little-
able to get to 11.
Yeah, seems a little perplexed. Seemed like he threw a really good putt. It just never dropped in time.
Oh, and Travis, the par putt just leaks out left. After such a great front nine, just didn't quite have the didn't quite have it on the back. Leaked a lot of strokes. I'm sure he'll be kicking himself, but solid round, 8 under par. Matt, 6 under par as well. Very solid round. Vinny going to get himself to 4 with that birdie. And Lucas going to stay at 10. We'll take a look at the leaderboard here in a second and see how those scores stack up with the rest of the field. But before that, we got to take another look at this long par save from Vinny. A great looking putt and a great looking score from Jesse Longenecker, the young kid. 12 under par, 1031 rated, puts him in the lead after round 1. We'll see Lucas and Travis again for round 2, along with Zach Tassone rounding out the lead card. Thanks to the Norse gods as well as the Patreon family for making this coverage possible. Stick around. Round 2 of 3 of the Norse Gods Championship will be coming out tomorrow. We're playing Shiprock Silvers. It's going to be a birdie fest. Make sure you join. It's going to be a fun one.